What's going on, everybody? Hopefully you all are having a super fantastic day. Today's video is going to be more on the serious side. I hope it's motivational, inspirational, and encouraging, just like all my videos are. But this one, we're going to be talking about a serious matter. We're going to be talking about mental health. We're going to be talking about mental awareness. I'm talking about it because it's very, very important to me. And me being a man in this society, the man was always taught to be macho, to be the tough guy, 24/7. Real men don't cry, boys don't cry. You know, that's how we were taught. That's how most of us came up. Even some women out there, that's how you came up. You know, your family, shows you don't let them see your tears and things like that, trying to be tough all the time and things of that nature. And even though people do a good job of masking their real emotions, that still doesn't give us a reason to not check up on each other. We should be checking up on our friends. We should be checking up on our family. We should be checking up on our spouses. Even though you're with them every day, you should ask them, how are you doing? And not just, the how you doing, the regular stuff. Ask them how they're doing mentally. Like, I had a homie of mine last night asked me how I was, mentally. And it made me think of where I was at. And right now I'm in a good spot. It could be better, but it's definitely better than what it has been over the past, couple of years and things of that nature. But that's very, very important. We should be able to ask each other how we're doing mentally. And if we're not doing okay, we should be fine with telling each other, man, I'm not doing so hot right now. I'm sad. I'm depressed. I'm anxious. I ain't gonna lie to you, I've been feeling suicidal. Like, we should be able to tell these things to our close people. Like, I know some people are weird about, telling people their problems and things like that. I get it, but we should be able to talk to our loved ones about that, man, because we live in a society where people feel like they can't talk to people. They feel like they can't vent. They feel like they can't feel no emotion, because if they do, they're gonna get laughed at by society. Some person on Twitter is gonna be, clowning them, or they're gonna dismiss the fact that they said that they were depressed, or they're going to dismiss the fact that they said that they were anxious or suicidal. They're going to think that they're doing that for attention. That's bullshit. And excuse my French, I'm letting the emotions roam, because as a man, as an individual who's dealt with depression, dealt with anxiety, dealt with suicidal thoughts, every bad thing in the book, I've dealt with all those things. And as I'm overcoming, and I'm seeing a lot of people who are just like me, who felt like they had to be macho and stuff all the time. So every time somebody asks you, hey, how you doing? I'm good. Even though deep down, I'm at like a 1 on a scale of 1 to 10. I may be, I feel like there was a point in my life where I felt like killing myself every single day. And I'm not afraid, nor am I ashamed to share that with y'all, because that was a point in my life where I felt like everything was, crumbling around me. I was like 19, 20 at the time, 23, by the way. But I was 19, 20, and I've seen so many people and heard so many stories about people who felt like, they didn't have much to live for, and they're taking their life at 15. They're taking their life at 17. You have, people who had everything going for them, and they take their own life at the age of 30 and things like that. And that it just hurts my soul in a sense, because I'm looking at all those people, I'm hearing all the stories, and, the first thing that the families or their loved ones say about them is like, man, they had all the potential in the world to do whatever it is that they wanted to do. And, the main reason that they, went that route as far as harming themselves or killing themselves is because they felt they didn't have anybody to talk to. They felt like nobody would understand them. Or if they did try to cry for help, nobody, reached out to them. Nobody, cared to, ask them, hey, how you doing? Or to offer help for them. And, I think we need to do a better job as people, as far as asking each other, how are we doing mentally, emotionally, how are we doing, spiritually, how are we doing, and have that heart-to-heart conversation, especially men. Men, we always try to put on that macho, mentality. A lot of us came up that way. That's how me and my brother came up. My parents, they wasn't super emotional coming up. It was almost like they never had any issues. Even when things weren't going the way that they wanted them to go, it was always like, oh, we're going to be good. Everything's going to be straight. Now, me not knowing as a kid, that behind closed doors, tears might have fell, stress might have been at its highest. They might have had a little bit of depression and anxiety too, But we never knew. They never showed us that as kids. So, of course, you're just going to mirror your parents or your guardian, whoever came before you, you're just going to mirror them. And, me and my brother came up the same way. We're not super emotional or anything like that. But I think in a sense, and I'm not blaming my parents, I love my parents to death. They taught me a lot, and they're continuing to teach me a lot. But, now, for me, it's always a constant battle, because you have to know when and where to put on, your tough guy, your hard hat, as I like to say, because there's going to be points where you have to put on the tough guy act. And then there's going to be times where you are going to need, some encouragement, where you're going to need the help. It's okay. It's okay to ask for help. That's something that I've struggled with for the longest. And I still struggle with it now. Like the asking for help. I've never been the type to ask for help. I've always been like I'm gonna do it on my own type of guy. And there's a lot of people in the world who feel the same exact way. And in some instances, you have to figure out, and it's good to figure it out on your own. But when it comes to your mental health, and when it comes to mental awareness, and when it comes to your emotions and your feelings, sometimes you need help with that, because there's a lot of emotions that people feel that you really don't understand. Like, how many of you have felt that before? Like, you feel depressed, you feel sad, but you don't really understand why. Like, you just feel sad. You just feel, you just feel like shit today. Why? Like, I've had that before. When I first started experiencing depression and anxiety and suicidal thoughts, I really didn't understand why I was feeling that way. I just knew that I felt that way. And it was kind of hard for me to talk to somebody about it when I didn't understand it. And it's okay to ask questions to people, go get counseling. It's okay to ask questions. Those are those type of people are here for. But like I said, we, in this society, you're going to get laughed at because you show your emotion, because you ask for help. And that's not cool, man. There's a lot of people in the world who have all the potential in the world to really, really do things, man, to really, really, make things happen. But they're struggling with their own demons day in and day out. And I know some of you are watching this and you're at your breaking point. You're like, I don't really feel like living anymore. You may feel like being dead is better than dealing with all the stuff that you're dealing with right now. And I feel you 1000%. I was there too. But I promise you that you have a lot to live for. You have a lot of things to do with your life, and you have, a lot going on, and I feel you, but it's okay to ask for help. I want you to try to get help. If I can find some, hotlines, like some suicide prevention hotlines, some, things to help out with depression and anxiety, I will put those below this video, man, because I want everybody to get some help. You never know what a person's going through. That's why I always say be nice to people. I don't care what you're going through, be nice to people, because somebody else may be at their breaking point too. And, one rude word can just push them over the edge. So try to be nice to people every single day. Any chance that you get, say hello, ask them how they're doing, not just how they're doing the regular way. Ask them how they're feeling mentally. Ask them how they're feeling emotionally. Talk with your friends, talk with your family. Make sure everybody's good. And if anybody's not good, including yourself, figure out ways that you can help. Figure out ways that you can, get some guidance, get some assistance. Everybody needs it at some point in their life. Like I said, if this video is long, if it comes out to be, longer than expected, I apologize for that, but mental health is very, very important to me, and it should be very, very important to you. Mental awareness is very, very important to me, and it should be very, very important to you, because the mind, your brain, is the strongest, organism in your body. It's the strongest muscle in your body. And if you're having these bad thoughts, if you're having, these bad, whatever you want to call it, those things can become real the more you think about them. Like, I really thought that people didn't like me. I really thought that if I were to take my own life, that people wouldn't care. I really thought that if I didn't show no emotion, if I didn't show any type of feelings, that was the thing to do. That was a cool thing to do. That's what being macho was all about. I'm here to tell y'all, that's all wrong. It's okay to show some emotion. It's okay to cry if you have to cry. It's okay to ask for help. You don't have to be macho all the time. You do not have to be this tough guy or tough woman all the time. If you're feeling some type of way, address it. Address it as soon as you can, because the more you try to suppress it, the more you try to silence it, the bigger it becomes. And those demons get harder and harder to fight, I promise you. I had a lot of breakdowns because I tried to, suppress my emotions and my feelings. But as soon as I started to address them, everything started to make sense to me. And as much as everything that I went through, hurt me, to say that I'm finally overcoming it, man, it feels good to say. And the feeling that I'm having right now, knowing that I'm overcoming and I'm working towards, getting better every single day, I'm hoping that I can help the next person do that. And then if I help you, hopefully you can pass it on to the next person and help them. Because this world is an ugly, ugly place. There's some ugly, ugly people who really don't care about other people's emotions and really don't care about how other people are feeling. So the people that do care, the people that do care about people's well-being and how they're feeling, hey, let's work together. Let's ask each other. Start with your friends, start with your family, start with your spouse. Make sure everybody's good. And if they ain't not good, figure out what can we do to help. Once again, to those who don't know me, my name is Patrick Raby. I should have did that in the beginning, but my name is Patrick Raby, also known as Energetic Pat. Hopefully this video helps you out. Check out the links below in the description. Links some suicide prevention lines, some ways to help out with depression and anxiety. And let's work on becoming better people. Let's work on helping each other, helping ourselves, and being okay with feeling the way that we are feeling. And once we are aware of how we're feeling, then that's when we start to begin to work at feeling better and getting help. Y'all have a super fantastic day. I'm gonna see y'all when I see y'all.